Well, in a traditional class, everybody moves at the same pace and everybody has to be in the same exact spot. There's not really much area for differences in student learning pace, so you can't really move ahead. And in customized learning, you can't really fall behind because the teachers keep pushing you. And we have checks every week, so we don't fall behind.
Any particular reason that you chose to do it that way? I noticed that the one about languages, that was more of...
We can also move ahead if we're comfortable with working more or if we're feeling comfortable with what we're learning. It's kind of nice because you don't have to just kind of be bored in class. You can have fun and you can learn at your own pace if you want to move faster than the rest of your class.
I think that's definitely an advantage, being able to work ahead. And then also, if you don't understand something, you can stay behind and really pound that topic until you get it and then move on.
I feel as if I've grown up a lot more. Like, I feel more responsible for myself, and I feel as if I can do more than if I were in a traditional setting. So I feel as if I had to, I could really take a better leadership role in my life, and that I basically know a whole lot more than if I would have in a traditional setting.
You can tell that students are gaining responsibility, and as like when you're growing up with a certain peers, you know the kids who like don't really do their work, and then you can tell now they're becoming a lot more responsible, and you can tell that Mod CL is teaching them a lot of important qualities that we'll use in college and later on in life.
The teaching is more like self-learned, so we kind of teach ourselves, and through like teaching yourself, you remember it more because you're the one doing the research.
Don't procrastinate. We were told to talk to the incoming freshmen last year, and basically that's what we told them. Don't procrastinate.
Just to not waste any time. Like, every bit of time is absolutely valuable, and to work your absolute hardest, because like the harder you work, the better you learn.
Mrs. Cardillo lets kids basically take labs whenever, so there's no kind of single setup and single day for labs. Kids can do them whenever they need to. So again, you see kids grouped up mainly by content, working somewhat independently, but they know they've got access to help whenever they need it.
For me, I was a teacher that I was in constant control of my classroom. I knew exactly what the kids were doing. We will do this, we will do this, we will do this.
So is that going to be very reactive, unreactive, or slightly reactive? Very.
With the customized, you kind of have to let some of that go and realize that students are going to make mistakes, but they learn from those mistakes as well.
And so it's not me standing up on stage doing the show anymore, which was hard to let go of because I loved the show.
Sound good? Awesome.
Now I get to kind of watch them really take on what they're doing and guide and instruct where they need it.
Uses details, but doesn't just come out and say it.
I feel like the more that I talk in front of a classroom, the less that my students learn. I feel like there is a level of cognitive difficulty with every assignment, and the more that I do, the less my students have to do. And so my goal is to give them as much of that cognitive difficulty on a day-to-day basis as possible. So the less that I stand up in front of the class, the less that they can kind of just watch. I'm not just teaching them math, I'm helping them learn life lessons that will help them be successful as an adult. So we've got our 34 equals to responsibility to themselves, how to make good decisions, time management, all those skills that kids need no matter what field they go into, whether it's post-secondary education or the workforce. Those are things they're going to need to be successful as adults.
I have gotten personally to know my learners a lot better. I can tell them exactly where they stand. I know exactly what they know. It's allowed me to kind of help some students kind of figure out what path they kind of want to go in. I have a sophomore right now who was never considered a traditional advanced student, and now she's far exceeding my expectations.
When you speak to teachers who are involved in this, they tell you they would never go back.
It would be very difficult for me to go back.
Because they feel like the intimate relationship between them and the students has increased tenfold, and because of that they feel like they really make an influence and have worth every day. I don't know what kind of gifts you can give to teachers, especially in a state such as ours with low compensation, but I think that kind of professionalism, that kind of self-worth is very important and significant.
The biggest resource that I've gained is time. That it used to take me 35 minutes to lecture, and then the kids would need a full day to do their assignments. I take that 35 minutes away, and at worst I replace it with a 10-minute video. and there is 25 to 30 minutes of extra time that I gain, sometimes daily. And so we have covered substantially more material this year. This isn't something that's going to disappear. I'm not going to go back to a lecture-based environment.
We're a fast food society, we'd like it to happen right now. And unfortunately, in education, we know that even some of the residual benefits aren't shown until they've graduated and went on to life. So it's hard to quantify that, hard to prove it, but I think the change has been good and we are seeing some good results.
This is life preparation. This isn't so much about learning algebra, but learning how to learn algebra and learning how to manage the things that you have to do in your life. Manage your responsibilities, manage time that you have to do those things, to be accountable and also be able to take all the success on your own. That you do what you accomplish here. There's nobody who does it for you, and that's going to take you forward in life.
You get to see students transform, and there is a transformation in who they believe themselves to be and what they are capable of. And that is going to carry them so far in life if they have that confidence, and I can do this. I can tackle something difficult. I can seek out resources. I don't have to just give the teacher the answer that I think they want. I can give the teacher what I think is true.
I think a lot of times when people look at a customized approach, they look at the top level kids. That it definitely is beneficial to them to get out of their way and let them move at their own speed. But one of the best things for my low-level learners is that those top kids aren't with them anymore. They don't have to compete with the best kid in the class on an assignment. That they can do it at their speed and at their level. And I can work with them one-on-one every day to truly understand that material.
I think that the technology that is afforded to all of us in South Dakota and across the country, I don't think we've used it well. This gives you that chance. So there's another affirmation of, hey, we're going to use this in the appropriate way now, when we haven't used it maybe to the depth that we could, and we're seeing that in our kids and our staff.
It's still going to be a school. You're still going to see lockers, you're going to see kids visiting with each other, you're going to see kids visiting teachers, but the overall structure of each individual classroom is going to be where kids are working at a pace that's comfortable for them, but they're still being challenged.